Let me go with like in lookup rules. It's a new concept actually. Write it down. Lookup rules. And let me tell you, my class will be like in first starting. So I'm gonna dictate the about like in the concept. Okay, giving a notes of that, and later I'll go with like an explaining the concept, and then practical demonstration, and later yeah queries. Okay, so if you have any queries, if you're not getting something else, or else if you want some more clarification regarding that thing, just ask me in the end of a session so that which I can clear with lot of elaboration and explanation which I can say instead of like in the middle of a class. Okay, so write it down. Lookup rules. Lookup rules enables. Lookup rules enables administrators. Lookup rules enables administrators to define rules. Administrators to define rules that that automatically that automatically automatically set one or more field values. Set one or more field values when certain conditions are met. When certain conditions are met. Okay, I'll repeat again. Lookup rules enables administrators to define rules that automatically set one or more field values when certain conditions are met. When certain conditions are met. Okay, next write it down. Types of lookup rules. Types of lookup rules. Okay. Types of lookup rules. First one, types of lookup rules. Assignment lookup rule. Second one, priority lookup rules. Okay. So I just got a message from someone that's saying, provide the notes so that we don't need to waste in the time in the class. Is it possible? Yes, we can do that as well without going ahead with like a notes actually. But the concern or is the concept, even it's easy for me as well without going with the notes. Right. So what the reason behind this is nothing but whenever you people are writing. Okay. So whenever you guys are writing ahead, so the concepts will be in your mind. So whenever you're going ahead, okay, so the lookup rules is this is what, so we know about it. Okay, and then types, yeah, this is what. So that's how which will be there in mind. It's instead of like and going with like and directly with the concepts and doing ahead. So if you're comfortable without notes also, it's fine. If you prefer that, then I'll go with that only. But the only intention of taking a notes is nothing but the concepts will be there in your mind, so that which you can, which will be like an, easy to understand, and which help you to remind for a long time. So that's the reason, if you're writing something, so that will be there for like a long time. So I feel that, so if you are not okay with this, then I'll stop it and I'll go with like a directly, concept explanation or as well. So let me know if you're okay with that in the chat box as well. Everyone, please let me know if you want class notes or else not required. So I'll go with you only. Okay, because the final motto of my class or else the training is nothing but you need to understand everything without any doubts and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, it's better to write down than explaining the
Yeah,
topic
that's what.
because
Even after a few days as well, you can turn on
yeah,
the
yeah,
page instead of going with the
yes, yes,
screen and
yeah,
all.
it's good actually. When we are writing the notes, maybe we can guess something or we can learn something. Then explain after explaining the topic, it will be clear. It
Yeah,
will be okay.
that's what I feel. Yeah. Even anyhow, the PDF is like an available and everything is like, and I'm gonna share it anyhow. But this will help you for like in that specific 4 to 5 minutes, the concentration will be there. So we will
Yeah,
not deviate.
yes,
That's why. Anyhow, you are in the, this is an online session which I cannot, monitor everyone what you are doing and how you are reacting and your expressions and all. I don't know whether you understood or not. So something which I need to be like, and make you focused over here. So that also one more reason. We'll go with the notes only then. Yeah. So write it down. Assignment lookup rules and priority lookup rules. Under assignment lookup rules, keep it as like a subheading or something and write it down. Based on based on category and subcategory. Based on category and subcategory, the assignment group will auto-populate. Based on category and subcategory, the assignment group will auto-populate. Okay. Next, write it down under priority lookup rule.
Priyanka,
Yeah.
you just mentioned based on the category and subcategory, the assignment group or the assignment rule
Group.
group. Okay.
GROU. Group. And we do have like an assign to and everything. So I'll show you that as well. Okay. So based on category and subcategory, assignment group will auto-populate. Okay. Next one, priority lookup rules. Based on impact and urgency. I'll show you what is impact, urgency, category, subcategory, and all. Okay. Impact and urgency. Priority will auto-populate. Auto-populate. Okay. So let's get into this actually. Okay. So lookup rules. So lookup rules is something whenever we are working with like a specific table. Okay, so there is a condition there, any of a condition which we can mention, let's say. So if the specific condition is like unsatisfied, then we can auto populate those values depending on like in condition if that satisfies. Okay, so let's say example, there is a field called let me go with the user table. We will understand a lot. Or else let me go with an incident directly only. So we know about, right, how to open like an incident records, and how we are going to navigate with like in all those things in a left navigation menu, application navigator, which I can say. Okay, let's say this is an incident table and we have a concept called incident management, which I'm going to tell you how we are going to create it and what and all the fields available here and the purpose of the fields as well. So before that, let me go with like in what is lookup rules. Lookup rules is nothing but something. Let's say example, the caller is something else. Let's say flood learning. Okay, and then service is something else. Okay, so whenever the caller is like in Fredler, I just need to pop up, or else I just need to make a values to be displayed depending on like in the condition. Let's say the condition is like in, if the caller is Fredler, I need to set a few values over here. Okay, let's say description with Fredler requested this one. So in that way, which we can go ahead actually. So simply, which I can say, we are going to auto populate a set of one or more field values. Okay, whenever the condition got met. So whatever the condition might be. So depending on like in one specific condition, we are going to auto populate one or more field values. So field is nothing but here, number is one field, caller is one field, category is one field. So whatever the things which is available over here is a field, and the value available, see, the software is a value of that specific field. This is field name and this is field value. Okay, this is field name and this is field value. Okay, so in that way, depending on like a condition, we are going to auto populate the field values. That's it. So let me go with like in how many types are there. There are like in two types of assign lookup rules are there. One is assignment lookup rule, another is like in priority lookup rule. Okay, so assignment lookup rule. So here, see, we have a category and subcategory fields, right? So category, we have one field with the values, inquiry, help, software, hardware, network, and database. And we do have like in subcategory as well. So depending on like, and let's say if I go with inquiry and help, the subcategory is antivirus, email, and internal application. So depending on like in these values, whenever I'm creating this incident record, okay, so I can auto populate assignment group field, assign to group, okay, and configuration item, and there is a location field as well, even that also which I can auto populate. Let's say example, so what's the purpose of using this is nothing but, let's say I'm creating 10 incidents today, let's say in a 10 minutes of time, so 10 incidents got created, or else let's say in 1 hour, okay, in a one project in prod instance, I got a 100 incidents got created. Okay, so they will be like in many issues. So incident is nothing but something, any kind of disturbances or else any kind of distractions happen. One normal work is not gonna finish because of that specific issue. So whenever we are going to raise a ticket, whenever we are going to raise a complaint, then we are going to raise a incident record. So incident is nothing but a kind of ticket or request which we do from our end to solve our issue. Okay, so you got the point, right? So here, see, I'm going to briefly explaining about like what is incident problem and everything in another day. Okay, so let's focus on like an only in this specific concept right now. So see, let's say example, my issue is like in my laptop is not working. Okay, so there is a hardware issue is there in my laptop. So just select the category as hardware and subcategory as like in, let's say my CPU has an issue. Okay, and I'll write down my short description, what's my issue, and then I'll describe that as well in a few lines. Then I'll submit it by giving like in the details as well. Okay, so whenever I submit the incident, that will be add on to like in this incident table. Okay, and now the team will work on the issues, right? Let's say example, if I go with like in software, the category is software for these tickets. Okay, so if I'm the person of like a technical expert, so who is going to solve these issues? Let's say example, I belong to software department, and some other belongs to like an hardware department, someone that belongs to like a network department. So there is a different groups, right? So what we can do depending on like in the category and subcategory, so we can assign that specific group automatically, assignment group. let's say there is like an hardware, right? So if I open over here, there is a groups by default. Here I can find hardware. See, so now what will happen whenever I raise an issue? So my specific issue or the case or the complaint will be automatically redirected to the respective correct department automatically. So no one manually, no one cannot do this one. So see here, I do have like in many categories. Okay, assignment group is like in software, service desk, and all these things, right? Database and everything. So depending on like in my issue, so normally let's say example after checking all this, I need to assign this ticket to someone else, right? So if it is like an automatically is applied over here, assigned to. Okay, so assignment group, sorry, not assign, assign to also will be applicable for this. Okay, so then what will happen? This specific ticket will be automatically assigned to respective team, and they are going to take care of a ticket. The team will work on this. In among those teams, so we do have like in the members as well in the specific hardware group. So bow down, ITL and everything. So if I, let's say example, let me show you, depending on like an assignment group, the assigned to will change. So in hardware group, we have only those users. Let's say if I go with like in cab approval, e-cab approval. So no users available for this group. Okay, so we are already know about like in what is roles and users and groups, right? So in groups we have a members. Okay, so those members will apply or else display over here in the assignment group. So you let me go with like in the hardware, and I have a few users over here assigned to. See here, these persons. So these 7 users, either any of one can work on my issue. So they will pick up. So who is going to assign this? Nothing but so they can pick up by their end, or else respective team lead or else manager, anyone will assign the tickets to the respective persons depending on like in the intervals which they are getting a tickets. Okay, so the purpose of assignment lookup rules is nothing but depending on like in category and subcategory, I can auto populate the details without manual intervention. Assignment group I can auto populate, assign to I can do it. Okay, configuration item I can do it, and then there is a location field as well, even that also which I can do it. So let me show you how this works. Let me configure this. So to do that, so in a home page of a service now, just type assignment lookup rule.
Priyanka,
Yeah.
just one
Under,
doubt.
yeah,
So in that assignment, you please just open that tab,
in
assignment.
assignment, I didn't get you.
Just open that incident tab. Yeah,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So here, there is a tab which is assigned to David Liu.
Yeah.
So do we just assign to the particular member or particular lead?
Yeah. So this is about like in group, right? So group we do have like in the members as well. So are we going to assign a lead, or else are we going to assign to like in the developer or the member or else the support person who is available, is depending on like in the availability of the person and the requirement.
How do we know that they are available?
We'll get to know, right? Let's say example assign, we do get like in, see, let's say example, if I go with the self-service incident only. Okay, so see here assigned to me. So he will get like a list over here, whether there is any tickets which is assigned to me or not. And we will get like a notifications, mails, all these things as well. So
We
this
do,
is nothing but, yeah,
yeah, we do just assign the tickets, right? We don't resolve the tickets.
it depends on like in the projects which we get. See here, if I want to, this is what something the configuration is nothing but the developers will do. Okay, so we know about this as well, right? Let me explain this. We have a developers, testers, and then support people as well.
Admins also, right?
Okay, yeah, that goes with like a dev only.
Okay.
Okay, so developers is going to implement it, or else which they are going to develop that whenever I click on this category and subcategory. Let's say example. So on so assignment group, so on so assign to or CI should auto populate. So these kind of configurations which we do. So he is going to do. And then the testers which they are going to test it whether we did the development whatever which we did is passing all the test cases or not. And there is a support as well, so these persons they are not going to configure anything just like an assignment rules or something else. Automatically those things is going to populate and they will pick the tickets and they'll work on the issues. So here the issues might be like sometimes the service now team only, sometimes it is like a from a vendor time side as well, so like a third party as well can work on this. So it
Okay.
depends on like in the requirement, sometimes it depends on like in the issue which we are getting it, so it depends on the ticket, that's it, the concern or is the issue which they are getting.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
and if you talk about that category and subcategory, so
Mm.
we need to figure out that category and subcategory, right? Based on the
These
incident.
things which we will get from a client only.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say they will ask you if the category is this and subcategory is something else. So we, if they are not gonna utilize like an existing groups, okay, so we can create a new group and we can add the users whoever they want. Okay, so we will create a group and that group which we can assign over here. Okay, the configuration part the developers will do. The testers will test. That's like a second part we can neglect for now. And then the support people they utilize whatever which we develop. Got it right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's how actually. So let me go with like
Priyanka, one more
the
thing, Priyanka.
mm,
So the assignment group, we have it, right? So when the issue comes, is it going to only that automatically assigned to the assigned group, particular assignment group, or to the person also?
yeah, that's what I'll tell you here. See, in an assignment group, whenever I'm gonna configure, so it depends on like in we do have a four fields. Depending on like in category and subcategory, we can directly auto-populate assignment group, assign to configuration item and location, right? So we can do any of a one as well and both at the same time. But most probably as a default or else as a requirement point of view in the projects in a live project, so we are going to use mostly assignment group only. Okay, so it is nothing but something. If I assign this specific issue to group, okay, so the specific group people will check on the issues depending on like in their ticket number of tickets which they get it, whether they need to assign to them or else whether they need to leave for now. So it depends on like in the availability, the TL and the team. Okay, if the requirement is something, if there's only one person is handling, let's say example, network. Okay, so in network, if there is like an IP address issues. Okay, so there is no specific team and all, only one person is handling these kind of issues. Then directly we can assign that specific person only from here. If we keep this as a hardware as an empty, okay, and here all the users will come up. And we can assign specific user only directly depending on like in the category. So whether we need to go with assignment group or assign to or CI or location or anything, the conditions which we get from a client only. So it's a requirement. Depending on requirement, we just choose those and we will configure and we will apply that. That's it. Okay, as a developers, we just need to know how if the requirement is something. Let's say the category should be this and subcategory is this, and assignment group or assigned or some that should be populate. Auto populate should come up. They will ask. Okay, so you can go with the script as well. So without scripting, also we can go ahead, which is nothing but assignment lookup rules. Okay, so whenever, see here, let me configure one thing for you and you will understand how that looks. Okay, so to go ahead with this, in the home page, just click on like an assignment lookup rules and open this. Okay, as of now, we do have it by default one is there. So let me go with a new one. Click on new in the top right corner. See here we have a category, subcategory, configuration item, location, assignment group, and group. So depending on like in these two fields or something, but depending on like in these conditions, we can auto populate any of these one. Okay, and we have a application already, we know about it. This is a global application which will apply for like an whole instance. Okay, so now you might get like in one more question over here. So I'm doing here category, subcategory, and the rest of the fields. Right. So I'm not giving any table name over here in which table this should be work. right? So this is for something, if wherever we have a category as like at the backend value is category and this is a backend value is like a subcategory, so it will apply wherever we need, and the backend value should be same for all the fields. Let's say example, if I open an incident table and if I open like an SC task table, okay, if I have a similar fields with a similar backend value, it will apply for the both tables. So as of now, we do have like an all these things mostly in like an instant table. Okay, problem change. Okay, so we can go ahead with like and with the category and subcategory. So this will be that 90% which we are going to use in an instant table only. Okay, so let me go with like in one example. Let's say category is software, the condition, and here see I have a multiple choice list. So the rest of the thing might be from like in different tables. Okay, so we just need to check on which values are, what are the values available for this specific instant table. See here for software, we have email and operating system. Okay, so email and operating system we have. So I will check on like, let's say email. Okay, so if I go with like a subcategory as email now, so this is a condition. If category is software and subcategory is email, okay, then let's say example assignment group, I'll go with software only. We might have like in software. Okay, so we have a software group. So now let me save this in the top right banner, just save it or else you can submit it. If you submit it, the page will redirect it to the before page. If I save it, I'll remain in the same page. So now what's the condition which I have given? Category software, subcategories email, right? And assignment group is software. So now let's try this one. Refresh the page. Let me go with a new one. So that will be clear for you. I'll give like a new values over here. Let's say example, if I go with the software and see here it is like an empty value available here. And if I click on like an email, see, I got the software automatically auto-populated. So that's how, depending on like in the condition which we are giving on like in category and subcategory, okay, we got a assignment group as a software. So which we auto-populated the software value. So you might get like in one question here. So here I have worked the condition which I did only for category and subcategory. So let's say what if the client requirement is like an if caller is someone else, or else the job description is something else, or else the service offering is something else, then I need to auto populate some other stuff here. Even that also can be done, but not by using like an assignment lookup rules. We can auto populate by with some other stuff which we will learn in the next classes. We have a client scripts, UI policies as well. Okay, so by using scripts which we can auto populate the values as well. Okay, so now let's go with like in the second one.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, Priyanka, ఇది ఆటో పాపులేట్ అనేది అసలు అర్థం కాలేదు నాకు.
auto population is something else which we are going to set up value automatically. It's not a manual stuff. See, if I want to assign a value in assignment group, I need to click on this one and I need to select a value here. Right. So whereas auto population is nothing but whenever the condition got met, no need to do a manual update. Okay, so just clicking on this and selecting over here is like an auto byte. Automatically, the value will auto populate. The value will come up. So that's how.
So after setting the category, subcategory, the assignment group will be automatically populated.
Auto populated because of our configuration we did it.
Okay.
So based on this, that came up. Okay, so clear, right? Let me recall it again. So assignment group is nothing but assignment lookup rules is nothing but based on like in category and subcategory, whatever it might be, I can auto populate assignment group assigned to location and CI. Okay, so that's how it depends on like in the requirement, whatever which we get from a client, we are going to configure and we are going to develop it. Okay, so the purpose of utilizing this is nothing but whenever there is like a huge amount of tickets is like an assigned, to like in any of our projects in a prod instance. Okay, so manually checking on like in category, and then one specific department will be there for software, hardware, network, database, and everything, right? So depending on like in category, we can auto populate the assignment group so that it will be assigned to respective group only, so they will directly work on that. Let's say I'm working on software issues and I got a hardware issue ticket. So that's not a correct thing, right? So assigning the tickets to your proper team is nothing but that's what which we can do by using assignment lookup rules. Okay. So next, the second one which we'll go with is like a very easy actually, priority lookup rules. Okay, so priority lookup rules is nothing but, see here we have a impact field and urgency field. So impact and urgency is nothing but, so I raised one issue, let's say example, hardware issue or else network issue. So I'm facing a network issue and I'm not able to, let's say, connect to VPN, my client VPN. Okay, so if I'm not able to connect it, so my project will be on hold. So I'm not able to proceed with my work. So these are the impact will be there, right? So let's say example, the impact is like in high, your work is going to, be in hold and project will be delayed because of that. And then urgency, how soon you need this problem to be solved, so make it as like in high. So now see the priority got changed into critical. So let's say if I go with like an impact is medium, now see the priority value is high, so automatically the value is getting changed. And this I cannot change it, the priority is read only. If I keep the cursor over here, see the red circle is coming up. And if I keep it over here, I can change the value. Let's say urgency also medium. Now the priority value is moderate. So we are not going to configure this by manually. By default, we do have in as an instance in out of the box. Okay. So out of the box is nothing but something which is already there in the instance. The configurations or the customizations which is there already there. Okay. So to check this one, so just click on like in, click on all and type it out, priority lookup rules. Okay, so see under system policy, we have a priority lookup rules. Open this. Here we'll get the standard stuff. See here, whenever the impact is high and urgency is high and the priority is critical. Okay, and for high and medium, the priority is high. And for high and low, the priority is moderate. So these also which they have configured by clicking over here. See, they have given the values for these, and for this we need this one. So if you want to configure it, want to change this one as well, we can go ahead, or else we can click on new button and we can configure the new stuff as well. Let's say high and high. Before it was looking critical, I need to go with like someone else, something else. Okay, so by using this as well, I can go ahead. So this we are not gonna utilize merge by as like a developer. Okay, no need to configure because it's already there. Okay, so we are utilizing the existing one only. Already is there, so it be depending on like in the impact and urgency, the priority will change. Okay, so that's how which we will work with like in priority lookup rules. So let me repeat it again. Priority lookup rules is nothing but only depending on like in the impact and urgency value, we are going to auto populate a priority value. So auto population, we right? So automatically without our manual update, the value will be auto populated. Automatically populating the value in that specific priority field. Okay, so that's how about like in priority lookup rules. And assignment lookup rules is nothing but depending on category and subcategory, we are going to auto populate the rest of the fields. So this is just, we are going to simplify the work by implementing something in by using these configurations. Okay, so next class I'll go with like an dictionary and dictionary override. So there is like an instant management, problem change and request management, so which is very important. So I'll go with that concept whenever I do have like an everyone is there in the class. Okay, so before that, let me finish like in the small concepts which will be understand even if they go, if you people go with the recording as well. Okay, if still you are not good with that, you can reach out to me. I'll repeat again by taking a backup classes or repeating it in the end of the class or something else which I'll manage, and that makes you to understand better. Okay, so that's how about like in today's concept, assignment lookup rules and then priority lookup rules. So lookup rule is nothing but we are going to auto populate the fields based on a condition. Okay, so now let me go with like any questions, guys. Yeah, you can keep your questions in the chat box as well, no problem.
Priyanka, one question.
Yeah.
These rules which you explained, the one assignment lookup rule and priority lookup rule,
Yeah.
these are only specific to these fields which you explained. If we want to make a similar logic in the other fields, then
Mm,
probably you said there are UI
mm.
policies and
We do have a
separate rules.
client scripts, yes.
Okay,
So we'll do that as well, but not with this specific assignment lookup rules. We do have like in few more concepts which we can fulfill the requirement of client for other fields as well.
all right.
Okay. Yeah. All good, guys. And I just got like in the question to go with the instance creation to repeat a first class. Okay. I can go with that as well. Let me clear the queries regarding this concept and then I'll go with it. All good?
Yes.
Okay, so those who are not required to, stay back for like an instance creation, then you can leave. The rest can stay back in the class so that which we can go with like an instance creation concept. Okay. And I got like in one question. Yes, Nishal.
I'll be leaving, Priyanka.
Okay.
This is a repeat. Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Okay, thank
Problem.
you.
Thank you. Bye. Okay, got a question. If we create an incident, who will resolve it? So the respective person who is going to work on the issue, let's say the assigned to person is going to resolve this. So the David Lu will work on the issue and he will resolve it. So whoever the person name is available in the assignment assigned to field, the person will resolve the issue. They will work on this and they will resolve this. Okay. And one more question I got. What's the difference between impact and urgency? So impact is nothing but how much impact or else how much business risk or else how much kind of work is like an impacted in your project. So it's nothing but impact. Urgency is nothing but how soon your issue should be like and resolved. So that's what you are giving like in time. Urgency, how soon that should be like and resolved. Okay, so impact is something, how do I keep that in another way? How that, impacts to the project, effort, which I can say. Okay, any further questions? And can another person resolve it? Most probably we cannot, but we can do that as well. But as a process, the assigned to person will resolve the issue. Even you also can do whenever you are working with like, and let's say example, this assigned to person is like in not available or else this person is not going to handle for the rest of it. He did like in 50% of work and 50% was like in transferred or moved to like in some other person. Okay, so even they also can resolve it. But as a process, assigned to person is going should resolve the ticket, the incident. Okay, any further questions, guys? All good? Simply how potential the damage happened for your issue, which I can say for impact and for priority. So not for priority, for like an urgency, how soon the incident is going to be resolved. Okay, so impact is something how much effort was there, how much potential damage was happened for your thing. Okay, so it's basically brings a lot of things to standstill and excuse a lot of loss. Yeah, of course, it's a kind of thing. So yeah, that's how it's all clear with the concept. Okay, fine, right? Okay, so let me go with like an, if it is, if you feel it is like a repeated concept of like an instance creation, so you can leave for today, and tomorrow we will meet with the new concept at the same time. Okay, so and rest will go with like in the new concept. And I just got like in one more question. To move another incident to another. Yes, we will. We can. It's not about like an another caller. Caller is different and assigned to is different. To move the incident to another caller is nothing but, let's say caller is something who impacted, who got the issue. So if I change that specific issue to like in some other person, it's not a appropriate stuff. So the assigned to assignment group is which we can change it, but the caller which we cannot change because you only raise the issue, right? So you have an issue. So if I change it, let's say my network is not working and my name was like in there in the caller field. Okay, and then if I changed it like in my name to some other person name, so that person might not have the same issue, right? So changing a caller name is not a correct one. Changing a sign to or assignment group is like in which we can do depending on like in our comfortable or our preferences. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Do we need to create an instance based on the calls, or do we need to, call?
I'll tell you, we have an incident management concept actually. So anyhow, which you have asked, let me show you. There is like an through mails which they can go ahead, or else which they can raise a self-service as well.
So we
Channel.
don't need
See
to,
here the
we don't
channel.
need to take the calls, right? The calls
No,
will be
that
taken.
that also might be that also there. See here the channel how they have reached. First, you can through chat they have reached, or also email, through phone, to self-service, or through virtual agent or work-in. So we do have like in all these things. So by anywhere which they can come up and which they can create a incident. So these and all which I'm gonna discuss in a incident management concept, how we are going to rise it and how many ways are there. Okay, why we need to use and what are the scenarios to rise the incident. So all these things which we'll discuss in that specific concept whenever we
So
go
yeah.
to that.
So they
Okay.
can call us and they can,
Yeah.
give the information about the issue.
Yeah, we do have many options. Okay, among that, so these are the options which is available. They can call, they can chat, they can email us. Self-service also, which we can go ahead, virtual agent
The
and working.
only, okay. So only we get calls from the users or, employees, right?
Yeah, whoever having an issue.
Okay.
Okay, so behalf of your colleague also, which you can raise an issue, but you need to mention who is the affected person. So that person requested for, I can say,
So it's
that's
all
nothing
about
but
like,
the caller.
yeah, it's like a network admin who, clears the issues.
Yeah,
It will be like similar role, right?
yes. Okay, so one more question I got, 1 second. If a person is having issue to log in the portal, how can that's what I told you. Behalf of you also, other person can raise an issue. They just need to mention your name as a requested for, and then requested for value will be I don't know like in the caller, and they can. So behalf of you, your colleague can do that. So okay. Or else let's say you can call them, or else you can chat, you can email them. So the portal access is only for like an these two virtual agent and self service, right? You have other options as well. So you can check out like in other options and you can get your issue resolved. All clear? Can we get it requirement else to whom to assign the caller? It's not about like a requirement. Incident is something which we are going to solve the issues directly. We are going to request, or else which we are going to raise an issue what we are facing, and then depending on like a near issue, team is going to work on it. I'll tell you whenever we are discussing about like an incident management, you are going to clear all your doubts on this. Okay. Clear? Can we move forward? Okay, guys. So see now, let me go with like an instance creation. So instance creation, I'm gonna stop this 1 second.